journalists from the states and outside the states on this seat to explain as things are going on in Nigeria. I remain your host, Idris Odanide, Comrade Wole Sokunbi. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you
Thank
for
you very
having me.
yeah,
For
thank you very
having me.
yeah, thank you very
Yeah,
much, sir.
to the topic of the day, 90 billion naira subsidy by the federal government. Where for people going to Mecca.
Medina.
Yes, when we first of all, after long time of military rule in Nigeria,
Sorry?
when we came back to the civilian in 1999, Nigerians, what they are expecting from governance is that we want our people to govern us, not the military to continue to rule us. There's a difference between ruler and those and the rulers and the governance. So when they came on board, we have all these types of activities. What do I mean activities? This time of programs for Nigerians to benefit from government, apart from embarking on projects like road construction, like building schools, like subsidizing school fees, like bursary, like grants, like say okay, you want to construct bridge, that's for the benefit of the people.
Of the
And you should know,
populace.
that government, the purpose of governance is to provide the basic amenities for the common man. What are those basic amenities? We have food, we have shelter, and clothing. But now, those are the archaic, you know, the olden days
It needs and
method.
wants.
But now people are now talking of dividends of democracy.
Democracy. Exactly.
So the dividend of democracy is now what we are talking about, the subsidy. Because when you are going to Mecca and Medina, say go and bring 9 million naira for a civil servant, where can they get it?
At all.
So they have to, seek the support of the government. Although government has been doing that since we returned to democracy in 1999, but it get to a later period when there is what we call the
Crunch.
economic crunch, economic thunderbolt in 2012 to 2015 during the time of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the president of Nigeria. Some certain economic measures we are put in place. Those are those that erase the issue of sponsoring Nigerians to Mecca and Jerusalem. That if you want to go, it should be on your
On your own volition.
volition, not the 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 not the expenses to be on government. But government in its magnanimity this time around said, well, considering the economic hardship being faced by people, not we are still facing it. And also, the government said, well, as a result of the removal of the fuel subsidy, so what can we? The government has done a lot to make sure that people do not suffer a lot. That is, to civil servants, to market women, to businessmen, they have provided platform that can cushion the effect of that fuel subsidy. But now the issue of 90 billion naira, we have to commend the federal government under President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Although it's not easy, we cannot judge a government under 1 year. It still has 4 years mandate, the remaining 3 years. Doing this, it shows that that government is sensitive to the plight of the common man.
Do you see it as an advantage to Nigeria economy or a disadvantage going by what the exchange rate is now? And we know very well that the Nigerian government will be dipping their hands into the treasury, into the dollars account of the nation.
Well, we cannot say it is injurious to Nigeria economy, and we cannot even say as at now it is adding value to the economy of the country. But what is even pilgrimage? Pilgrimage is about tourism. but we are spending the money on other
Outside.
country resources. But what is the implication of that pilgrimage? People are going there to pray for themselves, to pray for Nigeria, to pray for the progress of this country. So, for government to subsidize, the government is not sponsoring them holistically. Let's say it is 9 million. Okay, you have 6 million, government will do 3 million. At least government is just only assisting. It cannot have totally negative effects on the country. It is part of what we call social responsibility of the government. Government must do something. Government is aware of the economic hardship. How can somebody cough out 9 million naira? Even just a common man, you can see a common man going.
But when it comes to this Islamic religion of a thing,
Yeah.
it's though it is one of the five tenets, five pillars of Islam.
Yes.
But it says that if you have enough, if you think you can avoid it, you can go, and it is not mandatory for ones to go. How do you see this?
Well, they say if it is not mandatory,
Yeah.
if you
If
have
you don't have
enough.
the money,
But if you can have assistance from people, you can also go. I mean, it is not in the Quran that you must not seek help or assistance from people to go to
the religion
the
allows that. It allows it. Yeah,
oh.
yeah.
So the government is in a free mind to say, okay, let me assist my people so that they can benefit for this Hajj pilgrimage. So we cannot say that government is very wrong in doing that. Government is showing its own mess. The money that they dip, 30 billion they dip in the treasury, it cannot affect the running of the country.
What do you mean by that?
Because the government have the economic team. It could have seek the advice from them. We want to spend this, we want to divide this amount to this area, to this area. What is the implication? If there is any implication, they will say no, don't do that. And mind you, this is Mecca. Jerusalem is coming.
Exactly.
Christian has also coming. We want to see how the government will do that.
But to many Nigerians, there is this saying that government is allocating 50 billion naira to the student loan scheme that is coming up, that is on, that has started, while allocating 90 billion to just a one-off thing in a year. The comparison, Comrade Wole, what's your take?
Well, the 90 billion is, maybe commensurable to the volume of people.
You can imagine the number of tertiary institutions we
Yes,
have in Nigeria and the students
I'm
too.
still coming to that. This is one-off thing a year.
Yeah.
And we are not saying that the government is going to continue this subsidy like next year. But the student of a thing, you cannot say yet this is one-off of a thing.
It has become a law. It has been passed into law.
That
National Assembly.
is going to be a ritual thing.
Yes.
So 50 billion naira every year, maybe every quarter.
Don't you think that amount is too small compared to what is
It's
being
not too small.
dedicated to
It's not too small. The 50 billion naira does not mean that every Nigerian student will get this out. That's 50,000.
No, there isn't this calculation that about 1.2 million Nigerian students will benefit from the scheme.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The 90 billion naira captured the whole pilgrims going to
there are just about
Mecca.
21,000, no, 51,447
yes.
in total number.
Yes.
The registered pilgrim
Yes.
for
that one covers this, may not cover this.
Yeah.
There are some people that have paid. And mind you, there are some people that they sponsor them.
Yes.
Maybe private individuals. It is not this all figure that the 90 billion naira will cater for. But government has done its own. The student of a team, if you don't benefit this time, the other time you will benefit. It is a continuous process. So we cannot, here we are judging, it's not even too much. You can even say, even before getting to next year, the 50 billion of the student loan can even be more than 150 billion. So government knows how to do its own things, to work it out so that it will not have a negative effect on the resources of government.
What will you say to some states that up to now they are still finding their fittings when it comes to paying salary and doing certain projects, yet they are sponsoring people to Hajj? For example, along the Bauchi state will be putting up about 2.5 billion naira to sponsor pilgrims to Mecca, Bauchi state.
Well, as far as the state governments are concerned, every state has its own
Right.
peculiarities. You know, Bauchi State, cannot compare the resources, the amount of resources being expended in that state to other states in the southwest or south like Rivers, Lagos, Ogun State, Oyo State, Kano, Delta, and so on and so forth. Those are the states, although they are economically viable, but where the resources is going very enormous. For example, in Ogun State, you have to commend this governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, CON. He has done a lot because resources of the state is not even enough to cater for the, let's say, about 7 or 9 million Nigerians who have been in the state. We have so many sectors. He has to do roads. He has to take care of education sector. He has to take care of the health sector.
Yeah.
The health sector must run, must not stop. He has to take care of civil servants. He
Pay
has to
salary and
pay
wages and
salaries and
deductions
wages.
and the rest.
That is it. When you are saying that Ogun State is not sponsoring anybody he has his own reason for not doing that. But when you say yes, Bauchi is doing it, there are enough resources. You cannot compare the workforce of Ogun with Bauchi. But what I will say is that let us give kudos to the Bauchi state government. It is part of social responsibility, corporate social responsibility, CSR. I want to implore the other states to emulate. That is part of the dividends of democracy. Masses must also, can enjoy from government.
But what will you say? But what I'm trying
Yeah, I
to do
know.
is that
Uh,
I was not looking at the scenario of putting this 90 billion
yeah, I
naira
know.
thing across to Nigerians first before the
I'm
approval.
coming. I'm coming to that. So where I'm going is this: there are certain things, there are certain policies the government cannot put before Nigerians. If you put this before Nigerians, they will knock it off. And we voted in the government to have our mandate, to represent us, to take decision on our behalf.
Yeah.
That is the purpose of government. They are representing us. But at times they have to take a decision on our behalf. That is why they are there. So there are some things they have to decide on their own and give it to us. But the issue of that cyber security, where it is issue that involves life, that involves money, that involves the survival of Nigeria, that involves the economic turnaround of the country. So Nigerian government must also be very careful in taking this decision on that. When you want to remove money from my
Account.
account, I should be aware. That one is different from the subsidy.
Thing.
Yes.
On a lifetime mode again, I want to ask you, which one have you been to? The JP of 18 or Hajj? Which one have you been to?
Well, I've not been to any. I'm a Christian. When I was secretary chairman, by that time the democracy is still new. They used to give us slots,
Hajj slot
our
and
slots, and
and JP's
yeah, yes,
yeah.
Jerusalem slots, but you have to consider. But I told my ESCO, we are here to represent people. So when we leave office, they will remember us, they'll go for Jerusalem. So we dole it out to our members
Then
who have benefited. We have a lot of them that they still give thanks to us. That if it's not your regime, I will not be to Jerusalem or to Mecca. So we are happy about that.
But now that when the state government is no longer doling it out, how do you think more members can benefit from?
And we have, though, since we have a new government in NUG, I think they can. Number one is you have what you call a symbiotic relationship with the government. Unionism of nowadays of then is different from now, where the era of banging table is over. Is now the era of jaw,
Georgia,
not war.
war,
You jaw with people.
complete
You
dialogue.
Yes, you dialogue, you negotiate. So they should now go and make the government stable their own things, and then they will find their track back. I know the government is doing little to, but not open. You know about that.
So
So the
before
NGA can also benefit from that.
okay, before we call it a day, Comrade on Shokubi, summarily, in your own view, the 90 billion naira that is allotted to this 2024 pilgrim is okay.
Well, to me, it is a welcome idea. It is okay to also to just to assist the pilgrims going to Mecca. And the government should not stop at that. When the issue of Jerusalem is around, they should also replicate. You know that it's just only to cushion the effects of this economic crisis we have in Nigeria, so that we assist the beneficiaries. So the government should not stop at the Mecca, the people going to Mecca and Medina, but also extend the same gesture to people going to Jerusalem, maybe in December or April next year.
The government should not stop. Extension of this subsidy should be extended to those who will be going to Jerusalem, probably September or December,
December or April.
or probably December or September or December. It's on this note that we'll be calling it a day on this edition of Journalists Explain This on Nstv Lagos. I believe you will be joining us on the next edition when we'll be bringing another journalist from the states and outside the states on this seat to explain as things are going on in Nigeria. I remain your host, Idris Odanide, coming Wole Sokunbi. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for
Thank you very
having me.
yeah. Thank you, Nigerians. See you next edition. journalists from the states and outside the states on this seat to explain as things are going on in Nigeria. I remain your host, Idris Odanide, Comrade Wole Sokunbi. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for
Thank you very
having
much.
me.
Yeah, thank you, Nigerians. See you next edition.